Yes. Good morning to you, Elizabeth, and thank you for joining us on Voice of Africa Radio.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Adam, and good morning to you and Mahmoud.
Thank you very much for waking up early also and trying to catch the train now. Mahmoud is also live and well in the studio. Elizabeth, to start with, Rochester by election, which will be held on Thursday. But the Liberals, I beg your pardon, the Conservative is saying that if UKIP wins Rochester and Stroud by election, house prices will fall. Is this a reality or is just a scaremongering?
Well, it's entirely scaremongering. Charles Walker, the MP, was in Rochester stating, you vote UKIP, then your house prices will go down. It's absolutely incredible. This didn't happen in the Carswell election at all in Clacton. Douglas Carswell won by 59.7% on the 27th of September. As far as I'm aware, the house prices of Clacton haven't absolutely collapsed. This is really desperate tactic, which is guaranteed to fail. In fact, I'd have thought that all the intense media attention that Rochester and Stroud has had over the last couple of weeks would probably actually bump up the house prices.
Yes, but the Brisbane MP, Mr. Walker, did state that just like Dagenham and Barking, when the BNP swept the council election, house prices over there went down. So he believed that with the ideology, the kind of ideological and political thinking that UKIP has, if they win Rochester and Stroud by election, similar thing will happen there. Can you clearly tell us some of the ideologies and principles of UKIP and how it's joined to BNP that we all know that is an extremist, right-wing, anti-everything political party ever formed in the United Kingdom?
Well, if I can just make quite clear that UKIP bans any member of the BNP from being a member of UKIP. In fact, it's the only political party that actually does this. Quite a few, well, I think about at least 2 or 3 Labour councillors are in fact ex-BNP. So UKIP actually bans any member of UKIP, BNP from joining it. The BNP is, I would say, an extreme wing of the Labour Party. It believes in nationalisation across the board. It believes, I believe, in repatriation, and I understand that it is opposed to abortion on any ground. So this is very, very different from UKIP, which basically believes in smaller government and more power back to the people, the power coming from the top down.
Well,
Instead of, at the moment, we have power at the top. We want power to be moved downward and spread out.
Well, Mahmoud is also in the studio. Mahmoud, this is what Mr. Walker, the MP for Brisbane, Conservative of Brisbane, has said when he was starting or canvassing for his parliamentary candidate, that if people of Rochester and Stroud vote for UKIP, they are voting for the doom of house prices in Rochester and Stroud.
First of all, Adam, good morning, and I wonder if you just allow me to say congratulations to my colleague Julian Hoppart, who has just won a seat in Cambridge from the Labour Party. Good news there for the people of Cambridge. Well, it depends. What happens, you see, I agree with a lot of what Elizabeth says, but people do look at UKIP as perhaps a softer version or an acceptable version of the BNP. And if that's the case, if people look at that, yes, house prices can be factored because we're a very liberal society in Britain. We like to see a mix of culture. We don't like to see either a group of, in any area where there's a particular group of people just controlling that area, then it sort of does make people feel uncomfortable whether can be included in that area or not. And I just don't mean people, I mean English people will not want to live in an area with prominently, so let's say, right-wing control. So that's what happened in Barking Dagenham. But obviously, I mean, Elizabeth's right, UKIP is a party that doesn't allow BNP members to join, whether there are few Labour Party that are like that. So there is value in that. I think really what the people of Rochester need to do and look at is look at how their lives have been affected with £1.5 billion NHS investment, a state pension going from 107 to 144 per week, inflation pay is actually overtaking inflation. So we're heading in the right direction with good investment with £1.8 million apprenticeships, and all this has been done not because we worked against one another, because we have finally what the public, normal public like me, have been saying is, can politicians not work together?
If all these indicators are right, why is it that a lot of voters decide to join the UKIP but not any party within the coalition, being it the junior partner or the senior partner?
Well, what I was going to say was, and I think we have to sell this idea that the normal voters have been saying for years that why can the politicians not work together? That's what a coalition is. We finally have politicians working together, building Britain with anything up to 1.8 million apprentices.
It's not winning vote or support for either a Liberal Democrat or Conservative.
I think it's about getting a message across. A lot of people have said this fixation with the media and UKIP. I mean, they've only just had one MP now.
But
and if you look at the amount of media coverage
statistically, Lord Ashcroft has made a poll. His poll is showing that UKIP is leading in Rochester and Stroud by 10% to 12%. So isn't it a collaboration of figures or the thinking of people that UKIP is gaining more popularity in British politics?
It's getting a lot of media coverage. I was just about to say that, because if you look at the percentage of MP, they have one MP, and you look at the percentage of media coverage, you'd think they'd have more. So it's just getting that free media publicity all the time.
Elizabeth,
that's actually...
Let me go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Yes?
Mahmoud is saying that because of the media coverage that you are getting, it is increasing the number of supporters for your party. Looking at the polls conducted by Lord Ashcroft, saying that the UKIP is leading in Stroud and Rochester and Stroud by 10 to 12%. Is this something that you think it was as a result of media campaign launched by your outspoken and dynamic Nigel Farage?
Well, that's going to be partly it. But of course, this is a chicken and the egg argument. Why is the media so interested in UKIP? Because UKIP is a completely different concept from the existing parties. We've all heard politicians' lies. We've all heard in 2011 David Cameron saying, no ifs and buts, he would cap debt migration at 100,000. Of course he failed. He knows he's going to fail. Because we're in the EU and we're subject to the 2004 Free Movement Directive. We've had the situation with Nick Clegg promising no tuition fees. Get into Parliament, get into power, £9,000. The public are just sick to death of listening to these sound bites, these lies, the fact that they're all interchangeable. Nick Clegg could be leader of the Conservative Party, David Cameron could be leader of the Labour Party. It's boring, it's in the past. People just want to change. They want something completely different.
Well, so you think that your party is the alternative for a change in Great Britain?
Well, I certainly hope so. Otherwise, we simply have no agent for change. There's no other agent for change in this country.
All right. This is it. You're still tuning into Voice of Africa Radio.